What is your name, please?
My name is Bobby Morrow.
What is your name, please?
My name is Bobby Morrow.
What is your name, please?
My name is Bobby Morrow.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real Bobby Morrow, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. And here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good evening, and here we are again with our game of deliberate misrepresentation, wherein our panel tries to figure out which one of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. And now let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please?
My name is Polly Bergen.
My name is Ralph Bellamy.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Hy Gardner.
Now, these three people all claim to be Bobby Morrow. Of course, only one is the real Bobby Morrow. The others have merely assumed that identity, and they do not have to stick to the truth. All right, panel, in front of you there is a copy of an affidavit which I'm about to read. Would you mind following along with your copies? I, Bobby Morrow, am a member of the United States Olympic track team. Although I operate my own farm, I have always been interested in athletics. I have played football and other sports, but my main concentration has been on running. So far, during my college career, I have won 12 national championships. In the 1956 Olympic Games, I was the only American to win 3 gold medals. Signed, Bobby Morrow. While our contestants are taking their places, I'll remind you that these three people all claim to be Bobby Morrow, Olympic track star. Remember, if you will, that only the real Bobby Morrow is sworn to answer your questions truthfully. You will each question until you hear this signal, and at the end of the questioning period, you'll be asked, of course, to register your vote for the one person who, in your opinion, is the real Bobby Morrow. And we'll begin our questioning tonight with Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Number 1. Who was a famous American Indian who was a great athlete of his day, and what college did he come from?
Jim Thorpe.
What college?
Carlisle Indians.
Number 2. Who was the second runner to break the 4-minute mile?
John Landy of Australia.
Number 3. Where will the next Olympic Games be held?
Rome, Italy.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, in the Olympics, are the men's and the women's events scheduled at the same time?
No, ma'am, they're separate. The women first and then the men.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Number 2. Number 3. In most forms of athletics, there is a great deal of skill involved. What is the skill involved in running?
Picking up your feet and laying them down.
Number 2, let me ask you this. When I run a race with my children, I find that the toughest part of all is to get off when somebody says go. Now, how do you give me a hint so that maybe I could win a race once? What is the trick in getting off to a start?
You should use a starting block, I guess.
What is a starting block?
Don't give her any blocks at this
What
point.
is a starting block?
Starting block helps you get off. It's a wooden apparatus that you place your feet in and helps you get off to a fast start.
That's what I need.
Hy Gardner.
Number 1, who is Avery Brundage?
Avery Brundage is chairman of the Olympic Committee.
What is number 2? Do you know his right title?
I believe he's chairman of the International Olympic Committee. I think that's what it's
Number 3, what do you raise on your farm?
Cotton.
Cotton. Number 2, how do you pick your cotton?
You get harvest hands.
Oh, number 2, I'm sorry.
I don't pick cotton. I raise corn.
You raise corn. Well, you should. It's a corny question. Number 1, what is the only track and field event in which men behind bars are not permitted to indulge? Do you know? Number 2, do you know? Number 3? It's pole vaulting.
It's what?
Pole vaulting.
Pole vaulting, I see. Polly Bergen.
Number 1, when did you first start running? Professionally, I mean.
I'm not a professional. I'm an amateur.
Oh, amateurish, I mean. No, I don't. It's all right, just forget. I don't know anything about running, Bob.
Bob?
You see, I don't even, well.
We're a little late, folks, so good night.
Number 3, could you tell me,
You're not going to have time to. Our time
didn't
is
even
all
ask
up, and
anything.
it's time to vote. I'm sorry to say. No more questions of our cotton-picking runners here. Without consultation, will you mark your ballots and select thereby number 1, number 2, or number 3? Don't tell me you marked already, Polly. You have? Who'd you vote for?
I voted for number 1. Actually, I don't know anything about running, as it was obvious, but number 1 looked sort of lean, and I would figure if you have to run a lot, you couldn't be too heavy. No?
Sure, yeah.
That's
Ralph,
the way it went.
Bellamy?
Number 3. Number 3 has the kind of hollow, drawn face of a runner. And when he said cotton, he raised cotton. He had a kind of a little tinge of southern in there, so I can't put it all together.
All right, Kitty, your vote.
Number 2. I want to know more about that running block so I can beat my children.
So you can beat your children.
Running, of
Oh,
course.
I'm sorry. Hi.
I voted for number 1, first because he had the right answers as far as I was concerned, and secondly because I like to see a runner who comes in first, and he's first.
Good enough. Well, let me remind you that for every incorrect vote now, our challengers receive $250. Means they fool the entire panel. $1,000 is theirs to divide. So our minds are made up. Let's see how well you did at home and here in our studio audience as well. Let's find out which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real Olympic champion. Will the real Bobby Morrow please stand up? All right, number 1, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
My name is Steve Snyder, and I work for an advertising agency here in New York.
And number 2, how about you, sir?
My name is August Brown, and I just received a master's degree in economics from Columbia University.
I'd like to state that all of the funds that Bobby will receive will go to the Abilene Christian College Track Stadium Fund. Yes,
Before
Kitty?
these gentlemen go, is there such a thing as a running block?
Oh, sure.
A starting block? There is.
Sure.
Oh, all right.
There's also such things as a blocking back. And, oh, you get
Can't
into
you
all
just
kinds.
picture her running in the morning with the starting block? I can
With
just
her
see
little
that.
starting block.
Yes.
All right, we had exactly 3 incorrect votes, gentlemen. A good evening for you at $250 each for a total of $750 from Geritol. Thank you very much for being with us. Good night and good luck to you. Now, we'll meet a new set of challenges in just a few moments. But in the meantime, I wonder if we were to read an affidavit about you. Would it sound something like this?
My name is Josephine Grady.
Mrs. Grady is a housewife with several children. She's in her early 40s. She enjoys dancing, but lately she has felt so tired and worn out that she rarely goes out in the evening, even to a party. Well, now, if this description fits you, if you've been feeling tired more often than usual, remember your trouble may be due to iron deficiency anemia, or, as we call it, tired blood. Check with your doctor. And to feel stronger fast, take Geritol, the high-potency tonic that strengthens tired blood. Well, do you know that in just one day that Geritol iron is in your bloodstream, carrying strength and energy to every part of your body? So if tired blood is your problem, take Geritol, liquid or tablets, every day. And believe me, you'll feel stronger, fast, within 7 days, or your money back. And now may we have our next set of challengers, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Emma Gordon.
What is your name, please?
My name is Emma Gordon. My name is Emma Gordon.
All right, panel, once again, will you follow along with your copies of the affidavit which I'm about to read to you? I, Emma Gordon, am a professional dancer. My husband and I are the oldest professional ballroom dance team in the country. In 46 years of amateur competition, we have won every dancing contest we ever entered. Since turning professional 2 years ago, we have appeared on television with Ed Sullivan and have been the subject of a 3-page spread in Life magazine. Signed, Emma Gordon. Now remember, these 3 people, panel, all claim to be Emma Gordon, professional dancer. Remember, please, that only the real Emma Gordon is required to answer your questions truthfully. Are our challenges all ready? Yes, they seem to be. So let's start this round with High Garden. High?
Number 3, what are the first names of the DeMarcos? Number 2, would you know?
No, I know the man and wife.
Would you
I don't know. I don't
number
know her name. No, I'm sorry, I do not.
I'm sorry. Would you know number 1?
The man's name is Tony.
Uh-huh. Number 3, what is the name of the person who booked you onto the Ed Sullivan Show?
Mark Lefty.
Number 2, what famous ballroom dancer, once an Army flyer, lost his life in a plane accident many, many years ago?
Vernon and Irene Castle.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was asking number 2, but
Oh,
that's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Polly Bergen.
Number 1, what made you decide to turn professional 2 years ago?
Well, no special reason. Just like to dance.
You say you won every contest you ever entered. How many contests did you enter?
Between 200 and 300 in my
2 and 300. Could you tell me, number 1, do you dance the mambo on the beat or on the offbeat?
On the beat.
On the beat. Number 2, how do you dance the mambo?
On the beat.
Number 3?
The same. On the beat.
Number 2, could you tell me who is the director of the Ed Sullivan Show?
I do know very
Number
well.
1, could you tell me?
Mara Lewis.
Ralph?
Sorry.
Number 2, what was the most famous ballroom maybe in the country in Chicago in the early 20s? What was the name of it?
I didn't hear you, sir.
What was the name of probably the most famous ballroom in the country in Chicago in the early 20s?
Castles, Vernon, and Irene Castle.
No, ballroom. Number 3, do you know?
No.
Number 1, do you know?
In Chicago?
In Chicago, yes.
The Trianon or the Aragon?
Number 1, what was the first popular ballroom step other than the waltz, the 2-step, or the foxtrot? What preceded it? What was the first popular step like the Charleston or the jitterbug?
I don't know.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, what is the maxis?
I don't know.
Number 3, do you know what the maxis is? Number 2, what is a bunny hug?
I do it. It's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
How do you dance it? What's the
It
position
varies,
of the people?
It varies.
It varies.
Yes.
Depends on the number of bunnies.
Yes.
All right. Now, our time is up. It's time to vote. No consultation. Will you mark your ballots once again, panel? Voting for number 1, number 2, or number 3. There goes Polly's vote. For whom did you vote, Polly Bergen?
Number 1.
Number 1?
I know I always say this, but I think it's number 2. Really, I was so sure it was number 1, and then number 2 started going 1, 2, 3, which sort of threw me off. So, anyway.
Would you care to give us your reason
You get the
again?
feeling I just shouldn't even be here tonight.
No, that I never get. Ralph?
Number 1. Number 1
Don't be
knew
too
the...
definite, Ralph. Don't be too definite.
Well, I'm pretty definite here because she knew the Trianon and the Aragon ballrooms in Chicago. The Trianon, I believe, was the first and the biggest of its kind in the country.
Kitty?
Number 1, That was my lead, too, the Trianon Ballroom in Chicago. I believe Ralph.
And Hi Gardner.
Well, I voted for number 3. I know that number 1 had all the answers, but she might read Billboard magazine. But number 3 got my vote because she has the same happy smile that Ed Sullivan has.
All right. Votes are all in and our minds are made up. And now, let's see which of these 3 ladies is the real Emma Gordon. But before we do, I want to introduce you to the male half of the Dancing Gordons, Mr. Otto Gordon.
Welcome to you, Mr. Gordon. Nice to have you here with us.
Glad to be here.
We thought it might be more fun by way of identifying the proper Emma Gordon if we asked you to go over and select your dancing partner and do a little dance with her. All right with you?
Fine.
Okay, let's have a little music, please.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. and Mrs. Gordon. That was wonderful. Miss Gordon, may I ask you a very personal question?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
75.
Boy, I feel really late now. I'm telling you. Number 2, tell us who you really are, will you?
I'm Mrs. Lillian Twyford, a negligee salesperson at Best & Company.
And number 3, how about you?
I'm Celia Plout, work at the Cafe Grinsing, the oldest tax check girl in New York City.
Well, I must say the panel did mighty well on that one because it was exactly 1 incorrect vote for a total of $250. Well, please accept it with our best wishes and our thanks for being with us tonight. Good night and good life. Well, now, while our panel is getting ready for our next game, here's a question Bob Shepard is going to answer. What do doctors advise for irregularity after 35?
Well, now, the answer to that question, Bud, is based on actual medical observation. And this is it. After 35, when your system naturally slows down, many doctors often advise a special laxative aid for irregularity. Now, such an aid is Serotan, which taken daily stimulates peristalsis without any upset to the system. The result is gentle, more comfortable daily regularity. And here is medical proof. A group of men and women took Serotan under medical care. X-rays and other methods of diagnosis were used. In case after case, Serotan taken daily helped establish regularity. And all this verified by doctors' reports. So, for irregularity after 35, use the principle many doctors advise. Get Serotan, either powder or granular, today. You must get real relief from irregularity or your money back. Remember, when you read Serotan backwards, it spells natures.
Now let's have our 3rd team of challengers, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Wrongway Corrigan.
What is your name, please?
My name is Wrongway Corrigan.
What is your name, please?
My name is Wrongway Corrigan.
All right, panel, you've heard 3 gentlemen each claim to be Wrongway Corrigan. Now, if you'll follow along on your copies of another affidavit, I'll read this one to you. I, Douglas Corrigan, grow oranges for a living and fly planes for a hobby. During World War II, I was a civilian ferry pilot and test pilot for the Air Force. I am perhaps remembered for the fact that 19 years ago tomorrow, I took off from Floyd Bennett Field in New York for a cross-country flight to Los Angeles. 28 hours later, I landed in Baldonnel Airport in Dublin, Ireland. From this flight, I got my nickname, Wrong Way Corrigan. Signed, Douglas Corrigan. All right, panel, these three gentlemen all claim to be Douglas Wrong Way Corrigan. Again, will each of you question until you hear the signal, and we start this round with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Number 3, why did you take off, presumably for Los Angeles, and fly to Dublin?
I got lost in the fog.
Number 1, had you planned this beforehand?
Oh, no, never.
Number 2, what penalties did you incur by doing this?
I had my pilot's license suspended for 5 days while I was on the boat coming back home.
Is that all that happened?
That's all.
Number 2, what did you take with you?
I had a couple of boxes of Fig Bar cookies and a package of gum, a gallon of water to drink. There wasn't going to be any water on the flight, you know.
Number 3, where do you grow oranges?
I grow them in Santa Ana, California.
Number 1, who picks your oranges?
We have a co-op come in and pick them for us.
Hi, Gardner.
Well, Bud, I wouldn't want to be known henceforth as Wrong Way Gardner. And since I once interviewed this unguided missile named Corrigan, I think I just better disqualify myself. Okay with you?
All right, Hi, if you feel that way about it, sure. Okay, that takes us up the other end of the line. Polly.
Gee, I wouldn't have done that. I would have made everybody think I was brilliant. Takes real courage.
Yes,
Number 3, could you tell me, what are those stoves they use in orange groves to keep them warm when it's cold?
Smudge pots.
Number 2, what kind of a plane did you fly on your famous Wrong Way trip?
I flew what they call a Curtis Robin.
Number 2, what kind did you fly?
Curtis Robin, he's right.
You're sure that he's right?
Yeah.
Number 3, is number 2 right?
He sure is.
Number 1, it says here that you fly airplanes as a hobby, but you also flew professionally, right? When were you a ferry pilot?
Well, during World War II, during the early part of World War II, 1942 to 1944.
What was your rank?
He was a civilian.
Oh.
Says in the affidavit. Ralph?
Number
don't
1.
you have to be an Army man to fly a thing? In the Army?
Employee of the Army.
Oh.
Ralph?
Number 1, I seem to remember when Lindbergh made his famous flight, when he stepped out of his plane in Paris, he said, my name is Lindbergh from the United States. What did you say when you stepped from your plane in Dublin?
Well, it was different. They asked me who I was because they weren't expecting me.
Well, number 3, what kind of a reception did you have in Dublin?
They arrested me.
Arrested you? Number 2, there was a picture made concerning you, I believe. What studio made the picture?
RKO.
Kitty?
Number 2, has anyone ever done this before or since?
You mean go someplace they weren't supposed to?
That far? That far, yes.
No, I guess for somebody to get lost that far, that was about the worst.
All right, panel, that's it. I hope you've gleaned enough knowledge from it. Will you please mark your ballots now and vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3? Okay, everybody but High, who has disqualified himself. That means, of course, there's $250 already there. So, Polly, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 2. I think only a man who would go the wrong way would part his hair in the middle.
Ralph? Ralph, how about you, sir?
Number 3. I actually have some misgivings about it. I think it's number 2, but I seem to remember something about red hair, and that really was what caused my vote.
All right, Kitty?
Number 2. I don't mean this rudely, but I think number 2 is wacky enough to have done it.
Well, those are all the votes we need. Remember the one that was disqualified, meaning his $250 already there. Let's see if your minds are made up or if your memories are long. It might depend on that, too. Which one of these gentlemen is the wrong way gentleman? Will the real wrong way Corrigan please stand up?
Wrong there on the red hair was because there was a newspaper reporter that put that in the paper and he hadn't even seen me.
You went the wrong way, too, huh?
Well, it paid off in the wrong way tonight on that. Now let's find out about the other two gentlemen. Number one, how about you, sir? What do you do and what do you really, who are you really?
My name is Clark Gray, and I'm the National Sales Manager for Avnet Electronics in New York and Los Angeles.
Thank you, sir. And, Red? How about you?
My name is Ben Coleman. I'm the Eastern Sales Manager for Screen Gems, Columbia Pictures affiliate. And I'm selling Ralph Bellamy's old movies for television.
All right, yes,
I would like to ask Doug Corrigan a question, since I gave him $250. Doug, it's been 19 years now since you headed for L.A. and landed in Dublin. The name of this show is To Tell the Truth. How about telling the truth and telling us, did you really head for Dublin 19 years ago?
No.
I think we'll stop right on that. I'm sorry, our time is gone.
When they,
Two incorrect votes. I'm talking over you here.
Yeah,
Our time's running out. I want to leave it at no. And $500 from Geritol. Good night, gentlemen, and good luck. Well, I hated to leave you all lost in the fog there, but I thought it better with our time running tight. We'll return in just a moment. Right now, let's listen to my good friend Bob Shepard.
It's been said that Geritol is like a prescription for tired blood. Now, that's because this high-potency tonic meets the highest medical demands for fighting common iron deficiency anemia, or as we call it, tired blood. So if you've been feeling run down because of tired blood, take Geritol, liquid or tablets, every day. You'll feel stronger fast within 7 days or your money back. Now, don't forget, you can now buy Geritol and this new apothecary bottle of 100 tablets. Keep it on your dining table and let your family enjoy the healthful benefits of Geritol every day. And it saves you money.
And that's all the time we have for tonight, except to say goodnight. So goodnight, panel.
Good night, Bud.
And this is Bud Collier saying goodnight on behalf of Geritol and reminding you to tell the truth.
Transportation for the Tell the Truth arranged by American Airlines. Guests are flown to New York aboard American famous luxury flight, the DC-7 Mercury.
If you often walk the floor at night, unable to fall asleep, your nerves on edge, try the effective new aid to sleep. It's called Sominex. Taken as directed, Sominex brings 100% safe sleep. Sominex's combination of special ingredients helps calm down jittery nerves and relax you. Sominex contains no narcotics and it's non-habit forming. Get Sominex. Take as directed for 100% safe sleep.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, and Geritol Jr. Mothers, remember, after sickness, help your child gain strength fast. Give him Geritol Jr. Be sure to watch Geritol's exciting quiz sensation 21 with Jack Barry Monday nights over another network. Check your local listings for time and station. This is Vern Bennett wishing you good night and good health from Pharmaceuticals Incorporated.